Have you ever really stopped to think about how a product goes from just an idea in a lab to something you actually use every day? Well, today we're going to pull back that curtain. We're diving deep into the world of herbal cosmetics by following the journey of a single bar of soap, all the way from the research lab right into your shower. Think about it. We use soap every single day, but what's actually in that bar sitting on your bathroom counter? Is it just something that gets you clean, or could it be doing more? And that question, it's a huge deal in a field called herbal drug technology, where scientists are turning back to nature to find better, more powerful ingredients. All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll talk about why plants are so important in the first place. Then we'll meet the all-star ingredients. After that, we'll see exactly how the soap is made, watch it get put through some serious testing, and finally, we'll get the scientific verdict. So our journey really starts with the power of plants. For centuries, traditional medicine systems like Ayurveda have relied on herbs for health and wellness. And now, modern pharmaceutical science is taking a much closer look, trying to scientifically understand and validate all of that ancient wisdom. And that brings us to this key term, phytopharmaceuticals. It sounds complicated, but really, it's just the scientific name for medicines and cosmetics that come directly from plants. Think of it as the perfect bridge between the botanical world and your local pharmacy, turning plant power into products that are safe, effective, and reliable. Okay, so the big challenge for the researchers we were looking at today was this. Could they create a modern herbal soap using those ancient Ayurvedic principles and then actually prove with hard data that it was both effective and gentle enough for your skin? That was the mission. All right, now it's time to meet the team. Putting together the perfect herbal soap is kind of like assembling a superhero squad. Every single ingredient has to be chosen for its own unique and powerful abilities. So where do these superpowers come from? Well, they come from special compounds called phytochemicals. These are the natural active molecules inside of plants that can do amazing things, like fight inflammation, act as antioxidants, or stop microbes. They are, quite literally, nature's own active ingredients. Now, this is where it gets really cool. This chart breaks down which plants bring which powers to the team. And you can see right away that powerhouse ingredients like neem and turmeric are just packed with all kinds of these beneficial compounds. Let's zoom in on a couple of these. First up, we have saponins. And the name actually gives you a huge clue. It comes from sapo, which is Latin for soap. And that's exactly what they are. They're nature's own detergents. They're the reason you get that rich, cleansing foam that we all want from a good bar of soap. Next up, flavonoids. These guys are powerful antioxidants. You can think of them as your skin's personal bodyguards, helping shield it from all the damage caused by pollution and other daily stressors. This just shows how a simple bar of soap can do so much more than just get you clean. So, here it is, the final roster. You can see every ingredient has a very specific job. You've got neem as the antifungal, turmeric as the antibacterial, aloe vera for antioxidant protection, coconut oil as a great moisturizer, and even shikakai, which is a natural cleanser. What a team! Okay, we've got our all-star ingredients, but how do we actually turn them into a bar of soap? Now, this is not just about mixing things in a bowl. This is a very precise chemical process, done with a laboratory-level precision. The method these researchers used is called the hot process. First, they melt down all the base oils and butters. Then, very carefully, a lye solution is prepared and mixed in. This is what kicks off the key chemical reaction. The whole mixture is then cooked for about an hour, which is super important because it neutralizes all the lye, making it totally safe. And only then, right at the end, are those precious herbal oils and moisturizing glycerin added, before the soap gets poured into molds to set. So, the soap is made. But is it any good? Making it is one thing, but proving it works is the whole point of doing this scientifically. This is where we move from just crafting the soap to putting it through a whole series of tough quality control tests. So, what actually makes a soap good from a scientist's point of view? It's definitely not just about how it smells. It's all about performance, safety, and stability. And to measure all of that, you need cold, hard data. Let's start with the lather. The scientists measured two key things here. First is foam height. That's basically how much bubbly foam you get. And second is foam retention, which is how long all that foam actually sticks around. See, a stable, long-lasting foam is the sign of a really well-made soap that's going to clean effectively. But oh yeah, the testing goes way beyond just the bubbles. They check the pH to make sure it's gentle and won't irritate your skin. They measure something called total fatty matter, or TFM, which tells you how good it is at cleansing and moisturizing. And probably most important of all, they do a skin irritation test to be absolutely sure it's safe and that there are no harsh chemicals left over.
And that brings us to the moment of truth, the results. After all that careful formulation and all that rigorous testing, did this herbal soap actually make the grade? Let's find out.
The data here tells a really clear story. Let's just look at 3 of the different formulas they tested. Notice the pH? It's right in that sweet spot between 7 and 8, which is fantastic for skin. Foam retention is really stable, around 3 to 3.5 minutes. And look at that critical bottom line. 0 skin irritation. None. So the scientific verdict is in, and it is a clear success. The researchers proved they could create several different herbal soap formulas that were stable, effective, and most importantly, verifiably safe and gentle for human skin. They hit every single one of their benchmarks. And there it is, the final product. I know, it might just look like a simple bar of soap, but we now know it's so much more. It's the result of combining that ancient herbal wisdom with modern pharmaceutical science, careful chemistry, and really meticulous testing. And the researchers themselves summed it up perfectly in their conclusion. They said that based on their tests, the phytochemicals delivered good results, making the soap beneficial to use. I mean, that's a direct scientific validation of their entire process. You know, it really gets you thinking, doesn't it? If a simple bar of soap can be completely reinvented with this much scientific care and depth, what other everyday products out there are just waiting for their own scientific upgrade, blending the best of the ancient world with the incredible knowledge we have today?